Okay, so today we're going to be unboxing the Nesco American Harvest Gardenmaster FD1018P food dehydrator. This model is compatible with the 1010, so if you're looking at that, this will be identical. The only difference is on this one it comes with 8 trays, 8 cleaner screens, and 8 fruit roll-up sheets, whereas the 110 comes with less. But anyway, we got it open. You start with recipes and instructions on how to do it, followed by the book, How to Dry Foods, because we'll be using this for camping so that the food doesn't weigh as much if it's dehydrated, also for making beef jerky, of course there's the dog treats too, but depending on what you're into, you know, a lot of people are using these. This is the top. This one has 1,000 watts of power, same as the 110, and this is the difference here. You get the 8 trays, whereas the 110 will come with 4 trays. And the last thing in the box is the base itself. So this is how the system looks up, completely set up. This particular model will do 30 trays. So down the bottom here, as I mentioned before, is 1,000 watt power. This here is your on-off switch, and then you have your thermostat. It goes from 95 degrees Fahrenheit all the way up to 160. So let me break this down a little bit. Take the top off. The trays, like I said, there's 8. That's what they look like. The way that this unit works is heat comes up from the sides and it will come through this area and then be sucked across the top to come back down. I'll show you when we get to the base how that works. Get some jerky cure, jerky seasonings. Now those fruit roll-up sheets that I said, those are these things. So that when you have it down and you're putting applesauce or whatever it was, it won't soak through. So basically it looks like that. So we have, with this one we have 8 of those. There's the 8. Of course there's 8 trays. And there's also 8 of these. These are cleaner screen, where you can put smaller items on that won't fall through here. And there's also 8 of those. We paid approximately $15 more for the FD1018 model than we would have for the 1010, and it was well worth it. I mean, just 2 trays alone are going to cost you, I think they're $25 for just 2 of them. So, this is how it's all broken down. Now, when you get down to the base here, slide it over so you can see. Get down to the base. As I said, this is the fan that's going to be sucking the air back down, and all around here is where the heat comes up. So it's going to be coming up the outside of this, the trays, and then going across where you have the meats or whatever you're dehydrating to dry it out. With the 1,000 watt power here, it says it does it in hours, not days. We're going to find out. We've never dehydrated anything.
So now that we have our dehydrator, we're going to take our first attempt at making beef jerky nuggets. So we've got a piece of steak, and we need to cut it up into squares. I'll cut it in half first, because the beef jerky nuggets they're probably about yay big. So I'm not going to make them too thick. I'm going to do all my slices. Just try to make them as even as possible. So now that I've got all my slices, I'm going to cut them into even pieces of nuggets. So now that we've got them cut up into the little squares, I'm going to put them in a Ziploc bag. So we want to marinate them for a couple of days. And I am using teriyaki sauce. Now, from all the videos that we've watched, they said not to use the really thick stuff, so I went out and got the really thin stuff. I am also adding some onion powder. And some salt. sticking to really basic this time around. Because our son doesn't like anything too spicy, although he likes a little spice, but he loves the teriyaki beef nuggets. So you mix it all together, and from there we're going to put them in the refrigerator for about 2 days. So our meat has marinated, and now we're going to put it in the dehydrator. First, we're going to empty out a lot of the juices. And we're going to pat it dry. I think we need to get it as dry as possible. And we're going to place it on our trays, spacing them evenly. So we've got our 2 trays filled with our meats, and we need to get our dehydrator ready. So according to the instructions, it's stated to put one of the fruit roll-up trays on the bottom, just because it's easier for cleanup. And to use at least 4 trays, even if you're only using 1 or 2 trays. I'm going to stack them just like that. Put the cover on, plug it in. And the direction says that any meats should be set to 160. So we've got it set to 160. We're going to turn it on. Okay, so this was our first attempt at beef jerky, or beef nuggets. And to me, they look like what we buy in the store. I guess we'll have to test them out on our son.
Hold on, I'll try one. Oh yeah, those are good. Those are good.
Yeah, Derek will be the actual judge. He eats them all the time. So, that's beef nuggets. The end.